have a number of curious and exciting topics to share with you.
As attendees of the Hand-Eye Supply Curiosity Club, you're all now members, provided you adhere to our philosophy. Ex Curiositas Scientia. We pledge to learn without prejudice in pursuit of our mutual goal, perpetual noviceship. We admit that it is impossible to know everything about anything, and thus we remain perpetually curious and perpetually novice.
Sweet.
This is our flag and mascot Franklin. The lightning bolt represents the receipt of knowledge, the enlightenment of illumination, the resonance of truths understood. It awakens us and excites us and makes us hungry for more. Curiosity Club is made merry by our fellow artisans over at Portrait Brewery. Cheers, guys.
Let's give a warm Curiosity Club welcome to Ian Williams, sneakerhead and owner of Deadstock Coffee.
That's it? Are you going like that? No, oh, you can turn it on. Y'all have the secret question.
Now we're good. Ooh, that's weird. It's like weird to be able to hear yourself back. Like you already hear yourself because you hear yourself in your ear, you know. But it's awkward. Anyway, yeah. Thanks to you guys for coming out. My name is Ian Williams. I own Deadstock Coffee. What's the distance that I can go where I'm still in the camera? Okay, because I move a lot. All right, cool. I might even be in front. I might be in front. I'm just kidding. But yeah, I own Deadstock Coffee. It's actually right down the street. It's it's 408 Northwest Cooch Street in between on Cooch between 4th and 5th. If you guys are looking for it, because you will be looking for it after this. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just like really honored to be here. I've known a couple of these guys for a little bit of time, and it's cool just to be able to speak to people and talk about whatever, man. Something so silly as a little coffee shop has given me the opportunity to be on a platform. So that's pretty cool. Pretty happy about that. You're going to hear me say that's pretty cool or that's dope a lot because I just essentially always wanted to do dope stuff for my friends. So yeah, I guess we'll get ready. We'll just kind of get into it. I'm kind of going to breeze through this because I like questions more than I like just straight up talking. And that said, that means I'm going to probably not breeze through this. So yeah. That's me. Sneakerhead. That's skinny me back in the day. Now I've been eating them snacks. So Sneakerhead. I'm just like a regular old dude. I worked at Nike for 9 years. I used to be really into Kevin Durant, and then he went and hit me with the pump fake, and switched over to the dark side and went to Golden State, the team that just slapped us. Yeah, everybody go ahead and boo. Make sure he can hear it. And I'm not really actually a coffee person, so. Just keep that in mind as we go through this thing, and it'll actually make sense toward the end. When I was working so my entrepreneurial spirit started a long, long time ago. I used to be, when I was a kid, I used to detail people's cars. I used to cut the grass, all that kind of stuff. All the stories that everybody has. But for real, like I was really like a business dude, and I always just kind of wanted to work for myself. In 2006, I did a business plan for a skate shop. It was called the Tumbo Skate Shop. Don't worry about where the name comes from, but I went to PCC for like 45 minutes, and while I was at PCC, that was a business plan that I did, and after that, I was like, bump school, I'm out of here, I'm ready to go ahead and do my own thing. So wrote the business plan, started trying to like get it out there and get people to give me money for it, and they were like, all right, you're 18 years old, and you have no experience, so we're not giving you $60,000, $70,000, so get out of my face. So from there, I just was like, all right, I got to figure out what it is I want to do. So that's actually where I got into Nike. I had like little jobs here and there, but I was just buying shoes on the side. So I realized why should I be paying for these things when I should try to go somewhere and get paid to do this? So I got into Nike. I'm kind of going to breeze through that part because it doesn't really matter. It's like important, but it's not. This shoe, I started at Nike at retail, left retail after a few months, got let go. I was seasonal, went from that into making airbags. So I was actually on the manufacturing line. And then from there, I realized I wasn't going to get discovered and nobody was going to like find me. Like singers and actors go to LA and, try to get discovered like waiting tables. Well, I was like, well, I'm going to get discovered by taking out people's trash. So I took this janitor job on campus at Nike. And I thought it was going to only be a few months, but it actually was about 3 years. So that is technically my college. And I just did whatever I could. I taught myself how to use Illustrator and Photoshop. I was in people's face all day, or whenever I could. There's a difference between like being persistent and being a pest. So I just was like, where do I toe that line? I used to show up early. Like I showed up at 9 o'clock in the morning and had a desk in a back hallway, gave myself a desk. It was weird. But I did that for like a year. It was really crazy. But most people who saw me during the day had no idea that I was a janitor at night, unless you saw me in the building. So I would go to people's meetings, but it's all people who I met from like taking out their trash. I would just be like, yo, you guys should let me go to this meeting with you. And they'd be like, all right, I don't care. So this shoe right here is actually a shoe that I did when I was a janitor. It's called the Wet Floor Sun Dunk. It was inspired by me being a janitor, mopping floors, and the floors are wet. So it actually said like caution across the back on my initial sample, but they pulled all that. But I think I was 20 at the time, 20-year-old kid who just wanted to do dope stuff with my friends. Don't forget that. And I really love the skate culture, but I can't skate. I have my own shoe. Like that's pretty wild. So what's the next step from that? Well, weasel my way into footwear. So actually I got into footwear development. So I was like an engineer, self-taught. I pretty much lied to people and told them I knew what I was doing, and then got the job and then had to figure out what I was doing. So yeah, I'm crazy. But in 2012, about 2011, I already kind of started feeling like Nike's cool, this is awesome, I have a dream job, but I actually don't really like being like boxed in. And it was super corporate. I just sat behind the desk and answered emails all day. I thought I was gonna get the chance to go out and meet with the athletes and talk to, young athletes, like talk to kids and do this and do that. And really, I just was like sitting at the desk all day. I sat on like a yoga ball, so I would like, be bouncing, sitting at the desk. Nerf guns all over the place, and I just was like, this really kind of sucks. So I started doing art shows. So I started a little company called Greater Than Good. This is one show that we did that was called Only in Portland, and it was joking on the things that make Portland, Portland. So this is actually a Voodoo Donut, if Voodoo Donuts and Jordan Brand did a collab. So this guy, my friend Ben, did a series of pieces that were all inspired by what took that inspiration. And it was more like, you guys actually like Portland, you just don't realize that you like Portland. So I just took all my friends from outside of Portland, brought them together, and made them do a show about why they hate it. And then at the end, they were like, man, this was kind of dope, So, yeah. And that was a show that we did in Costa Mesa. So I had a friend that opened up a store. It was like a shoe store, and they built cars in there. So there was actually like cars in the gallery space. It was pretty dope. That was actually like only 2 shows in, and then he was like, why don't you come down? So that's dope. But even then, I was like, I'm doing these art shows. It's temporary. It lasts for like a little bit of time. Like what is long term? What can I do that's better than that or that's longer than that? Something that lasts. So like what's next, right? So let's kind of talk about what a sneakerhead is and stuff like that. So there's so many sneakerheads. It's like a fake word now. It's like when somebody's like, I'm an innovator. Like, what does that really mean? Like, what the heck are you even doing? Innovation is like boring, right? We're all like creative people or like smart people. So you hear that all the time and you're like, all right, bro, like shut up. They're sneakerheads, they come from all walks of life, but that's kind of the dope part about it. Like you could have like plumbers and then like really, really rich people and stuff like that, but they all go wait in this line for a few hours in the rain every week. But that part actually kind of died out now that everything went digital, right? Shoes are currency, and they're very loyal to their shoe stores. They're very loyal to the places that they go. They seek validation all the time from their influencers. They look at what people who they really follow or who they really like what they're doing. So this is Mark Arsenal. He owns Fat Lace. It's actually the place where we had the show down in Costa Mesa. Hype Beast, which is a sneaker blog or like a cultural blog now, did this. They did like a Hype Beast Essential. So what does Mark have in his bag? So these are all the things that he had in his bag. So people can be like, oh, snap, son. Let me go get this passport case and what is that, like some lip balm or I don't know, and like this lanyard. And so like that's really all it is. So people can be like, Mark has it, I want it. This is some kid's Instagram, but this Instagram is just pictures of his fit. And he just tags outfit of the day, blah, blah, blah. So sneakerheads always want to look fresh. They kind of want to be the first to do it. Let's talk about the sneaker landscape in Portland, right? And let's talk about Portland in general, right? It's full of out-of-towners who embrace the culture that is Portland, like I talked about the art show, and the people who said that they hate it, but they really don't hate it. They actually still go wait in lines for 2 hours for some breakfast. That's stupid. It's it's one of the best places to open a coffee shop in America, right? Coffee is number 3 to craft beer and wine, which is crazy if you think about the industry as a whole. Portland Sneaker Hub, but there's no evidence of it. So if you travel from wherever, and you know that Portland is where Nike, Adidas, Under Armour, Columbia, Keen, High Tech, other companies have offices here. Then you have agencies, Wieden & Kennedy, laundry service. So you can name so many different things, and people who have gone from these companies and started their own thing, that all of that is here. If you came to Portland seeking that out, where are you going to find these things? You're gonna go to the employee store? No, you can't get in. Well, you can now, but like you really kind of can't get in. Do you go hang out on the Nike campus? Do you go to the Adidas Village? Like, what do you do while you're here? And there's only a few authentic sneaker spots for a couple reasons, but that's really because everybody has access to everything. If you want anything, raise your hand if you've ever been to or reaped the benefits of the Nike employee store, and you wanted some stuff, right? Who pays retail out here? Like, not really anybody. So there's Compound, which is right down the street, and Index, which is right down the street. One's retail and the other one's consignment. Let's talk about Chinatown. 24 blocks of nightclubs, strip clubs, and bums. Let's be real. Fine goods, art galleries, music venues, a whole bunch of stuff like that. There's only 2 authentic sneaker shops, and it's home to, actually 3, because one is coming soon. You didn't hear that, but it's coming soon to the neighborhood. Shout out to the homie Ira on that one. And it's the home of Pencil Academy, the only sneaker design school in the world. And they're right on the other side of the block from us. Now there's 3 coffee shops. At the time when I did this, there was only 1. This is an old presentation from a long time ago, but it still counts. And there's a ton of change taking place. We just had Society Hotel open, which is a big change. We also have another hotel that's going to be open in October, right on the corner of 4th and Burnside. And it's a high-end hotel, so rooms start at $120 and go to $350. And I got a chance to go in there, and the rooms are very small. But it's really dope. And it's one of the first buildings to break the building height code in the neighborhood. It's going to be 9 stories, which is actually a really big deal. Because if you go to the Society Hotel and you look out, you actually see all of Portland. It's because we have buildings that are so low. So it's actually really it's a really big deal that hotel has the opportunity to do this. But there's nowhere for collectors to hang out without loitering. There's nowhere for influencers to go whenever they're visiting. There's nowhere for people to like talk about kicks. There's none of that stuff. So what if you actually had that? What if you had like a laid-back place with some coffee you can go in and just kind of ask some questions? What if you had a gallery space for sneaker art? What if you could talk crap about each other all day and still want to come back tomorrow, right? So what does that look like? So this was actually initially what I was going for. Forums for people in the sneaker industry to come through, collectors, showing their collections and stuff like that on the wall, a bespoke section where you could kind of go in and do all of these things like, build shoes and whatnot, and, just like a barbershop atmosphere like I talked about. But this is actually what I got. So when we first started, and by we, I mean me, I had a little stand inside Compound up in the gallery space. It was like literally this size. I had a little espresso machine. You can see how little baby my espresso machine is. That's my espresso machine. Shout out to Holy Cacao for supplying the syrups. I used to buy them, and this is actually upstairs in Compound's gallery space. So that's it's kind of wimpy compared to really what I wanted. I wanted like 3,000 square feet, and I got like 17. But just by buddying up with Dapper and Wise Roasters, and like I said, I wasn't a coffee guy. I actually didn't drink coffee until about 3 years ago. And even to this day, I probably drink like 2 a week. But Dapper and Wise out of Hillsboro was willing to show me what the coffee world is and let me ask questions without getting punked. And they really supported me. So there were plenty of times where I was only doing like 2 pounds of coffee a week. And that's not very much coffee if you're a business. And they would come in on Saturday and roast it for me. Like that's pretty dope, right? Now they're getting bigger. Now they can't do that anymore. That's all good. I'm definitely past 2 pounds now. But yeah, Compound, shout out to Compound for giving me the opportunity to do that. But from there we grew. We did that for about I keep saying we. No, it's still we, because I still have mad homies who are coming through and everybody was supporting me. One of them is standing in the back. Shout out to Jeff. And Jeff and I met working at Nike, actually. Now he's doing his own thing. He's doing big old things. Moved from there into the lobby of the building that the coffee shop is in. So it's actually diagonally across the street, the Goldsmith Blocks building. And just had like a couple more seats. Got a couple more homies started coming through. There's one dude named Steven Green. If you guys ever heard about him, I don't know how. But shout out to Steven. He out there somewhere. Actually, he's going to go get his kids, hang out with the family. But like Steven kept coming through, having meetings there, and my little coffee stand. Jeff kept coming through. So all these things kept happening, right? And then around that time, a little small drink called Zero Chill was born, and it's coffee and sweet tea. Kind of sounds like a joke. And then there was another drink that happened shortly after that called the LeBron Palmer. So it's coffee, sweet tea, and lemonade. And those things were, like, it kind of sounds funny, but like we started out as like selling like 1 cup, maybe 2 cups a week, to like a couple more cups a week. To now, like, if we run out, people are like, I'm not, like, call me when it's ready. Like, people go crazy and don't even ask about the trap cake. My mom bakes this cake, it's real. But anyway, but now we have, and then now this really is we, because there's like 5 of us plus, is really probably like 20. Deadstock. The location that I mentioned to you guys earlier is right in the neighborhood where all the sneaker stuff is, right next to where Pensole is and Compound and all that stuff. And, unique sneaker-inspired displays. So I have my friends come and bring in collections. This was actually all the KD4, my favorite KD model, but I don't know how I feel about it now because I hate KD. But right there is what, like maybe 10 pair. At one point, I think I had like 32 pair of the same shoe, all in different colors. Like, that's stupid. That's crazy. That's what sneaker people do, but whatever. This is actually my nephew's hand. My nephew works for me. He's 18 years old, just graduated high school. But yeah, like, we play hip hop. All the employees know the culture. None of us really drink coffee. But coffee is a formula. I can teach anybody how to make a great cup of coffee in like 5 minutes. Like, it's really, really easy. It's just buttons, steam some milk, push down some coffee, put it in a cup, say thank you very much. It's really easy. But really what's more important is the people part. I needed people who knew about the sneaker culture or who knew about music or sports or whatever. That's what is the most important. And the last thing, which is actually like why it's on the bottom, but this is actually my last slide before I just kind of start taking questions, is I just want to help people find jobs. If there are people who are really interested in the footwear industry or music or whatever, like, I got a lot of homies who I've met from taking out their trash. I got a lot, and that, like, those are actually some of my closest friends, the ones who I met from doing that. Because if you were cool with me then, you definitely are going to be my homie next. But if you meet them at the desk, like I had 5 years at the desk, there's a lot of people who I don't, like, I see them at the grocery store, it's like, hey. I'm just kind of like, stroll off. Like, but I used to sit next to you for 5 years. Like, why is this a thing? So I got a lot, but at the same time, I've met a lot of people aside from that. But, my network is huge, but my network does me no good. Like, I would call them every once in a while, but if you need them, like, why am I keeping that in my pocket? If you really are going to benefit from it, I'm going to do what I can to help you out. So that's what the most important part for me is. And, like, I don't know, hopefully you guys took from all of this. I'm really, there's no pictures of people, and that's really crappy. I'm really serious about people. I'm super serious about people. I'm a really big believer that caffeine doesn't matter. It's actually the ritual part of it. You wake up in the morning, you put your clothes on, you really hate the commute to work, you get to the coffee shop, and then you get your order, and you start your day there. Or you're having a really terrible morning, and you have, there was an accident on 26, and so the normal 45 minutes actually has turned into hour and a half. You're already late to work, the job that you don't like or whatever. Like, it's like, so there's like a whole part of it where, like, you just get really, really upset, and all you want is for your coffee to be right. And so, see, yeah, that's what I'm saying. And you give somebody that cup, and they take their order, they're waiting your line and all this stuff, like, it's busy, and they're answering emails, They take the sip and they're like, we're good. They haven't even drank the whole cup of coffee. They took one sip. It's like when you watch a TV and like you watch like a cooking show and they go to take a bite and they say, before it like hits their mouth. Like, come on, like you haven't done anything yet. So I'm a really strong believer in that. It's the ritual of that thing that's most important. And because of the community, we've been able to build this coffee shop. Like this may make it look like it's big, but it's like 400 square feet. Like it's like a little blip. We just got some outdoor seating. We need to seat like 6 more people outside. That's pretty fire. So now we seat 11 people. That's pretty fire. But because of the community and all the customers who know each other and the customers who know the employees, so when people are waiting in line, they're not just standing there by themselves. They're not on their phone or whatever. Everybody's actually interfacing, and that's what's the most important. So now, as we continue to grow and figure out what's next, is another store or whatever. Like, what do those things look like? I got the support, I got the people, and then I take that group of people and we go start another crop of dope people, and I find the new homies in the new place, and I go, yo, you guys are dope, and you guys are dope. You guys should all meet each other. Now let's go do another crop of dope people, and just keep duplicating that until everything is really dope. Like we have this sign I just put up that said coffee should be dope, because I feel like coffee is really, 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 really boring. I don't know if you guys have ever been a black guy who wears streetwear all the time and you go into this like weird world of coffee and say, hey guys, I don't know anything, but I really like to be here, and can you help me out? They're not receptive. And so it has been really important for me to just be like, I don't really care what you guys say. It's gonna be okay in the end, and we're gonna be homies, and I have to keep showing up and all that stuff. And so now they're part of that community. So the community part is the most important piece. I don't know like how well I'm touching on this. I feel like I've said it 1,000 times, but that's how important it is. The coffee, the money, it's not even money. Like if you guys think I'm rich, like you're lying. This t-shirt, this hoodie was free. I've been wearing it like crazy. The t-shirt I have on underneath was free. These pants are old. Like, I don't have tons and tons of money. And it's not really important. Like as long as if some people are able to be successful because of, not me, but because of us, like then that's what really matters. So yeah, the next part says like questions, but really I'll leave it here so you guys can see some dopeness. Look at this right here. Y'all like cold brew? I don't, but that's really good. We started roasting our own coffee now. How am I able to roast? I don't know, but it's fire. Our cold brew, there's actually a cold brew competition coming up in October. Best believe we entering, and if we don't get at least third, I'm gonna be mad. Yeah. So yeah, if you guys have any questions or whatever, like feel free. What's up?
You talk about ritual and you talk about people. What are some of your rituals that like mean a lot to you personally, and what are some, and do you share any of those with others?
I think these guys, DJ and Jeff and probably Amy and a couple other people can like really tell you, like if it's not music playing, I'm kind of like weirded out in the shop. Like, and I've been fortunate to do a few videos lately for some different businesses and stuff like that. Like the news comes in. Pencil recently recorded a reality show, and they came in a lot and recorded in the space. And like, that's all that stuff is like really, really cool. But every time they come in, they're like, can we cut the music? And the music is actually kind of what like keeps me moving. And I'll listen to almost anything. No country, I'm sorry, but I can't do it. But like, I just need the movement. I guess that's like one of my rituals or like one of my things. When I had the little stand, every morning I used to have to go to the grocery store. So I opened it up at like 7:30, and I used to get to the store at like 6. I used to have to go to like cash and carry or whatever. And the stand setup was really annoying because I used to set it up in the doorway of compound, and then until 10:30, and then from 10:30 to 11, I moved it upstairs, and then it was upstairs in the store until like 5 o'clock. And Jeff knows because at least 10 times he helped me move that stuff. And there was like I used to buy this like can of coconut water. It seems really silly, but I used to put the coconut water in the ice that I had to buy every morning, and then and it would get cold. And then after I moved everything upstairs, everything was all set up and I was ready to go. I would drink the coconut water, and it was like my reward to myself. I was like, we did it. It's time to go. Round 2, second half. And that was essentially my lunch because I kind of couldn't really go to the bathroom because it was only me. I kind of really couldn't take a break because it was only me. So that was like my reset. That was a weird time, man. That was a weird time. But I mean, I think for me, I just really need I just need the people, like the people are really what get me going. And at the end of the day, I don't want any people. Like I just want to be in the house. Like y'all leave me alone. But like I really if it's a slow morning, it's weird. Like I start off kind of weird. People are like, how you doing? I'm like, I don't know, how you doing? Depends, so yeah. What's up? That's you? Yeah.
As a self-starter and kind of having that entrepreneurial spirit and kind of doing things for yourself and figuring it out, which I super love and respect. How do you find yourself dealing with moments when you're faced so much with having to pull your own path out of yourself, you're really trying to find and forge your own way and grab onto things? Did you ever feel moments of doubt of what am I doing? How do you get past that?
Did I ever feel moments of doubt? Do you own a business?
I'm part of my business, yeah.
Do you ever feel moments of doubt? No, there, see? If you don't doubt it, if you're not nervous, if you don't question what the heck you're doing, when you wake up in the morning, I kind of feel like you don't respect it. If you're not nervous before you take a test at school, you didn't do anything. You're not. It's different than if you're nervous because you didn't study. Man, I really hope I pass. No, dummy, you're not gonna pass. Come on. I was that dummy who didn't pass. I would be like, man, I really hope, but I know I'm not gonna get a good grade. But if you've studied really hard and then that test comes and you're like, I really hope my best expression comes out right now, then you really respect what's on this piece of paper. You respect what your teachers have done. You respect your own journey. So I was nervous before I started talking. I respect you guys. I don't actually know a lot of you, but you have come here for me to tell you something. I better do a good job, or I better at least help somebody, and give my best expression or my best, put my best foot forward. So do I ever feel I can't do this anymore? Sometimes every day. Sometimes I wake up, I'm like, yo, this is a fantastic day. I don't even know what's gonna happen yet. But that's just I feel like those are the times where you figure out another way to make it better, or to get around whatever the hurdle is or whatever. When I was working at Nike and working on the coffee shop, I knew at some point, actually before I even started working in footwear, before I even started working as a janitor, I knew at some point I was gonna work on my own thing. And at some point, that own thing something was gonna get sacrificed. And I wasn't gonna sacrifice what I was doing for myself because it made me happy. And that was when I realized, all right, I gotta kick this place. No pun intended. And it was really weird when I quit, because I quit and everybody was like, but 9 years and you're this poster child guy because you have a shoe and you talk to new employees about how great it is to be here and you're inspirational and why would you do this? What are you gonna do next? And I'm like, I already did whatever I wanted to do, right? It's time for me to go continue doing whatever I want to do. And I was nervous, but I knew it was what I wanted to do. I knew it was what was best for me. Fast forward 2 weeks later, I woke up one morning and I had no meetings, had nowhere to be, I had no lunches, I didn't even have plans to go play basketball or buy shoes or anything. And I was like, what the heck did I just do? And I actually freaked out for a half a day. I was taking a shower depressed, eating breakfast depressed. Actually, I don't even eat breakfast. That's how depressed I was. I was like, I gotta do something. I'm sitting there eating a bowl of cereal or whatever, because I'm a dude, just mad cereal. And then halfway through the day, I was like, oh, that's right, I'm Ian. I can knock this out. And just kind of like, you know, push myself through it. And there's plenty of times where I can't push my own self through it. You definitely need friends, or you need your support group, or you need the people. And just remember what you're doing is bigger than you. So if I quit, there's a whole lot of people who watch me quit, and they're gonna be like, bro, you can't do that. And that might make some other people do the same thing. I don't know, maybe that sounds kind of arrogant, but I really do think I'm influential in some people's lives, and so if I give up, then they might give up, and I don't want that to happen, because it's important that they do whatever it is that they're doing that makes them happy. There's people who, if they give up, I'm a freak out. I'm like, yo, if you tripping, I gotta go, you know? So, yeah, does that answer your question? Yeah. Oh, okay. What's up, man?
Maybe I'm a little slow or you're a little fast. I'm not
Probably,
really sure.
it's probably more me.
You have this coffee shop,
Mm-hmm.
and there's a theme of shoes,
Mhm.
sneakers.
Mm-hmm.
And is your clientele, are they coming in part because of the sneakers, or why are they coming into your shop? Is there synergy there between the two?
I want to make this, I wanted to have some sort of like cool, like, well, what do you like? And what do you? No, people come in because the coffee is dope. Like, the coffee's fire, it's real good. It started out real bad. Back here, Jeff was nice to show up. He was my friend. Steven was nice to have his meetings there. Right here, you come see your boy. Like, it's time. So people come in for the coffee. If you look at our Yelp reviews, Google, whatever, blah, 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 it's 5 stars across the board. And it's because of the people, but also because of the product. So my customers are everybody. Like, if I just was only going off of sneakerheads and people who really like shoes, or people who are really interested in sports or whatever, I would make like $50 a day, maybe. We have to be appealing to everybody. But the hope is actually that if you come in, you take whatever from the space that you want, but on your way out, you're at least going to be like, man, those are cool people, and that's a good cup of coffee. But if you look on the wall and you're like, yo, is that a Charles Barkley poster? I actually had that poster when I was a kid. That is for you. You know, that space actually, and what's more for everybody is this dude right here, Allen Iverson, the greatest basketball player of all time. KD was number 2 to me. Now he's number 2,000. But I really am mad at him. But there's like a picture of Bo, and then, you know, and like just different. The thing that draws people in really should be us. The coffee and the rest of it is like a sidebar. The coffee is the product that gets you in. But the other thing is, you know, hopefully you ask a couple questions while you're in there about some shoes or whatever. A lot of people come in, they're like, oh, sorry, I got on, you know, brown dress shoes today, and these are my work shoes. I'm like, well, why did you pick those shoes? You picked them because you work in this industry and you have to wear a suit and you walk to work. Well, you picked your shoes for a reason. We pick our shoes for a reason too. We just do it 200 times. Right? So, I mean, most of us actually have the same flipping pair of shoes, just in multiple colors. So we might have 200 pair, but if you actually dig in and figure out what it is, it's really like 20 different models, just a whole bunch of them in a whole bunch of different colors, but they all have stories and stuff like that. But that's really, it's for everybody, man. Like, if I don't see you soon, I'm gonna be hurt. You be hurt. What's your name? Charlie? Oh man, Charlie. Ian, man, nice to meet you. That's DJ, that's Jeff. They probably gonna be in there when you come in. Yeah, so it's for everybody. I'm gonna see you, Charlie. If I don't see you, man, hold you to it, bro. Do you have a question, man? Yeah.
So the reason I'm attending was not just because I enjoy the space. The first time I came was maybe 2 months ago. But your story is similar to mine in the sense that I'm in a well-paying, dull job, and considering that transition into something else that's more about connection with people and that sort of thing. So I was interested in your narrative, which you've given a really good presentation of.
Thank you.
But now, necessarily coffee itself. Although with coffee, I do see a connection with design culture, with caffeine being something that's occasionally used for sports, for that extra kickstart or whatever. If there was another drink or sneaker-inspired drink that was more interesting to you, what do you think you would produce?
Say that last part one more time.
If there was something akin to sneaker culture or inspired by sports that was a drink you're passionate about, what do you think you could come up with?
Bro, that's Gatorade. What are you talking about?
Gatorade?
I'm just kidding. Zero Chill and LeBron have actually kind of become that for us. Are you saying like what would I think about if I saw one, or what is my interpretation on that?
Well, like personally, what kind of drink would you be passionate about, since it's not the espresso?
Before that, don't get me wrong. I mean, hopefully you guys have like realized I'm really serious about product. At Nike, like I was really serious. My job as a developer was to cut stuff open and figure out what does and doesn't make it work, to make sure that it's manufacturable and make sure that shoe is perfect when it goes to the store. I'm the same nerd when it comes to what goes in the cup. In the beginning, I just kind of sucked at it because I didn't really know what I was doing. I'm 3 years deep and a whole lot of hours of no sleep. These are like some real bags. If you see this, like it's real. If it's not there, it's a lie. But like I'm really serious about what goes in the cup. But like you're saying, that is not my real passion. And in a way, we take that and sneakers aren't even my real passion, really, right? So what do I see as a better one thing that I actually started to go to? I really like tea. So I developed a tea with another local company called Sportland Tea Company, which is based here in Portland. And they make recovery teas for athletes. So like for like relaxation, joint pain, inflammation, things like that. And one of the things that people kept coming in and asking for was like, bro, I'm like, wow, hungover. It was a crazy night last night. I got it, blah, 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 right? So we had this drink called Fire Brew. I don't know if you guys have seen it before, but it's like a vinegar, like kombucha shot. I think Fire Brew tastes like athlete's foot. Like it tastes terrible. I don't know what athlete's foot tastes like, but if it was a thing, it would be Fire Brew. But Fire Brew really, 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 really works. Sorry, Valerie, if she catches that on the camera, but I don't care. I've told her to her face, I think it tastes terrible. But I sell it because it really works. But I wanted also something that I could stand behind. So I reached out to Sportland and was like, yo, you guys make recovery stuff. Like, help people start their day back up after getting crazy drunk for, I don't know, whatever reason with their boys or to forget whatever. And so, I mean, it's real, right? So I let them take the lead on the base, and then we together worked on like developing what that could be moving forward, like what the flavor profile is and stuff like that. And we sell it now. It's called Wake Yourself. It's really hilarious, but it really works. So like just trying to figure out ways, like if it's not something I'm like super, super interested in, what can I take what I really like and like make it something that works. That works for me. Yeah, does that answer your question? Or are you looking?
Yeah, that makes sense.
Okay, so.
Is the tea in the shop?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we have it.
Okay.
Yeah, no, it's in there. We have no menu. I don't know if you guys have actually been in there, but there's no menu. And it actually started out because when I first opened, I just was like, yo, I gotta open the doors. And it was like a random Wednesday. I thought I wasn't gonna be able to open for like another couple days, and the health department came in and they were like, all right, you're good. Have a good one. And I was like, oh wait, what? Like what? It's like when my friend told me one time about like when they had a baby. Like you have the baby, and then the doctor's like, okay, go home. And you're like, I can't go home. What am I supposed to do with this thing? You know? Like there's no like manual or whatever, and they're just like, nope, get out. We need this room. You know? And so that was kind of like me. Like they were like, all right, open your store. I'm like, I can't open the store. Like I need okay, open the door. You know, and so that was really how it started, and I just was like, okay, I'll make a menu later, and went like 1 week and then 2 weeks, and people were like, where's your menu? And I'm like, don't worry about that, you don't need it. And like, really, you don't need it. Like, how many people order the same thing at every coffee shop when they go in, or even meals or whatever? Most people don't care about most people already know what they want, like to a T, like half calf, 10 ounce latte, extra hot with soy, and whatever, and like no foam. Like, you know exactly what you want. Most people actually don't care about what it costs either. And it's not like I'm trying to like trick anybody or make something crazy expensive, but if I need to, I can fluctuate prices based off of what happens behind the scenes. Also, it makes you talk to some people. If you really want to know what's good in the coffee shop, you better ask somebody who's near you or check some social media or whatever. So menus are like really boring. So when people come in and say, where's your menu? I'm like, why do you need a menu? What do you want? And they're like, well, I don't know what I want. Well, ask that guy, or ask me what I like, or ask him what he likes, or whatever. And so that's the way that we kind of like differentiate. That's another like something that, I don't know, I like messing with people. If you guys haven't noticed, I really like messing with people. I'll tell you your drink is like $8 to see if you still hand me your card. And then they'll be like, ooh, that's an expensive latte. I'm like, it's $4, man, you crazy, get out of here. So like I like messing with people, but it's all in like good fun, Yeah.
What sneakers are you really excited about right now, and why?
Y'all heard of that Boost stuff? Adidas Boost is that some Boost?
That's some boots.
Oh, see? Yo, I heard when I was working, I remember hearing about Boost. I almost gave away some stuff. I remember hearing about Boost and like Adidas working on it pretty early, like when it was first releasing. And I remember seeing it being like, man, that looks like it's kind of crazy. And it was like this weird like cream color, and it was like on these couple shoes, and the shoes were like $180. But me being like a nerd and like a sneaker guy or whatever, I was like, all right, well, let me go try it out. I think we went to like Dick's Sporting Goods and put some on, and I almost left with some. Like, I was working at Nike and was like, yo, how can I get up on these boosties real quick? Like, it was like $180. I was gonna have to pay retail too. Like, that's crazy for something I can't wear like while I'm working. I heard a stat like it was something like 50% of the people that tried it on bought a pair. That's like real game changing. And now you got this dude named Kanye who's out there with some crazy shoes that cost like 200 something bucks, and people were going wild out there buying shoes that got Boost in them. The Ultra Boost is a shoe that like Ultra Boost, Pure Boost, like Adidas was kind of flat, and then that stuff started coming out, and now everybody's jumping ship from Nike and these other companies and going to Adidas. If you've lived here for a while and you know some people who work in the industry, you'll meet all sorts of people who work at Nike. Tell me where you ever ran into some people who worked at Adidas. If they did, they were like mad low key. They were like, yo, we're getting Adidas. What you do, man? I work at Adidas, man. But now they're like, yo, Adidas in the house, what up? And so like it has changed the culture both in Portland, but also outside, like in the sneaker industry. So I'm really serious. I'm pretty serious about Boost. I've always been a dunk guy. That's what the SB that I did is a dunk. My bad if I woke up the baby. Shout out to the baby. I mess with babies, y'all. I really like kids. Talk to me about education sometime. I'm really big on the education. Let's see, what else? I don't know. That's kind of it. I'm kind of off shoes a little bit. I'm kind of on this like, real estate would be cool. That's kind of where my mind is now. But at the same time, I'm still buying shoes here and there. Sometimes I just stumble on something. But I'm mainly going for stuff that I used to really want, and that I haven't been able to get for a long time. And people kind of like wave stuff in your face after a while when they realize you really want it. So I talk about shoes a lot in interviews, and people were like, I heard you talk about this. What's up?
What is Boost? What is it?
It's a ridiculously high rebound like foam.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So it's just got.
Yep.
It's like a spring.
Yeah, kind of.
Okay.
Yeah, don't say that too close, because Nike used to have shocks and they will fight you. But where's there actually a spring and some shocks, Jeff? Yeah? Okay, if Jeff says so. I don't know. I never cut it open. I just remember hearing early on that it just were like straight concrete pillars. But that was early when they were still just like trying to get it out the door. things always get better over time, right? Your boys' lattes get better over time. Yeah, what's up?
So, it sounds like you're super connected in the neighborhood and the community and the place is really important for this.
Yeah, I think so.
You had a little hint there that like maybe one thing you're thinking about is somewhere else, maybe another location. Where else in Portland? Is there anywhere else that has the same feel, the same culture as this? And if not, what other place has a kind of culture that you would be into?
Other places, like other cities and all that, like they have the culture. All these like big cities, even little cities. Like there's a guy who came in the shop one time from like Madison, Wisconsin. Oh, in Portland? Okay. Or not Madison, like a little small town in Wisconsin. He told me, but like the culture is out there. But for Portland specifically, because there's only a couple shops, because everybody has access to whatever they want, we don't really. It's tough to find another neighborhood. And I actually had this conversation yesterday with Brian, the owner of Porque No. We just up on Society, sitting on the roof, looking out, talking about what's in the future for both of us, and it was super dope. Support other local places, definitely. And my biggest thing was this neighborhood really works because I've been coming here since I was a kid buying shoes. Compound's been there for, I don't know, like 12 years, 13 years, before Index was around, then Upper Playground came in, then Pensole, then Index. But Compound really started it. So anywhere else I go, or anywhere else the shop goes, we're not only gonna have to like figure out where that neighborhood is, but like what we're gonna bring to the neighborhood. And it can't be, and I don't want to be, I want to be authentic to whatever the neighborhood is. And then there's this like little thing called gentrification, right? And I am the gentrification that we're running from and the gentrification that is happening. I'm a black dude. Do we open up in a black neighborhood? At the end of the day, I have to make money. Is that neighborhood gonna support the business? If we open up in a neighborhood where it's already, like if I open up in the Pearl, what benefit are we to the Pearl, and what is the Pearl doing for us? So those are the questions that I have to kind of like figure out. Mississippi District is looking kind of nice. There's a shop out there, a friend of mine owns, Yanagita Projects, that he does like manufacturing and stuff like that for like pins and hats, but he opened up like a little storefront right next to Miss Delta. Super dope store, and it's nice to see the homies doing some dope stuff. That's interesting. I was interested in Division, but now Division I don't like anymore. But at the same time, throw something appealing on my lap, and I might mess with it, So it all kind of, it also depends on like, retail is really, really, really boring. Retail is quite dead. And that's why I say the thing about people. You can go to the Nike store and pick up whatever you want from the Nike store, but like what is the store really doing for you that you can't get off of Amazon now, or Grailed or StockX or any of these places, or Index.com. Index is down the street, but you could also just buy it and have it sent to your house. Like so what is that retail space doing for you? So looking at other ways to possibly integrate with some other retailers and diversify both sides, both what we do and what they do. Yeah, Portland's a tough one, because it's like how many of you guys have lived here for like over 10 years? Okay, and when was Portland ever cool before that? Like nobody cared. We were like a town, and we were like in space we were relatively big, but we were like a town, and not that many people really loved it, and if you were like really into a couple things, then yeah, it made sense. But now, like, we get people from New York and New Zealand and Berlin and all over the place, and they're like, oh yeah, I'm taking my vacation in Portland. Why are you taking your vacation in Portland? Who told you to come here? you know? And so like we need those things, but like also like stay out. You know? So yeah. I don't know. I don't know. If you guys ever like just like talk to me sometime, my brain is always like, it's weird, man. It's weird. I'm always happy though, at least. Most of the time. You guys, anybody else have? Yeah, what's up? You got all the questions. I like this. Go ahead, man, what's up? What's your name?
Will.
Will. All right. Yeah, I remember, and I keep forgetting, and that's my apologies. Sorry, microphone. Does it? Yeah. Okay. Good. Good. My name is Ian. You want me to go back and put it back up there? I'm just kidding.
No, I just wanted to well, first of all, I'm a people person, for lack of a better term. I'm really fired up by other people, by their energy, and I fall back on them when I have issues where I'm like, oh man, okay, well how do I work this out?
Yeah.
Well, I've got my community, you know?
Yeah.
Well, so it sounds like that's your drive, like your passion more than sneakers.
Yep. I would say that.
Just based on what I'm hearing, so are there some people that have meant a lot to you, like early on in your career, or even before that, that kind of set this whole thing in motion? It's awesome, and it sounds like you're meeting people, creating community, moving on, and bringing that community with you. It's awesome. It's kind of inspiring. And are there some people that you kind of feel like a third grade teacher or whatever? There's some people.
Oh, like way back.
Well, whatever. I don't know. 2 months ago or 12 years ago, whatever.
Yeah. Well, absolutely. I mean, there's people in this room right now who have been around for a really long time. And I've called their names out already. You guys could probably count. I've at least said Jeff's name 7 times. I said DJ and a couple others. Oh, snap, shout out to the battery that's about to die. You don't need this anymore. You guys don't really care. Here's some, yeah. Oh, shoot, that's old info. The new info, I will make sure that gets up there. But let's go back to that for a second. Bro, there's so many. It's crazy.
That's a pretty broad question.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's a broad question, but it's a real question. When I did that shoe, I couldn't get paid because I was an employee already, right? So they can't pay you and pay you. And on top of that, I was a janitor. Who wants to pay the janitor guy for some stuff, right? As much as they really were looking to help me out, it wasn't gonna work. So I asked for pairs of shoes. And they were like, well, how many pair you want? And I think they assumed I would say 4 or 5, and I actually asked for 20. And I went around and got people's sizes who helped me out while I was both at Nike and outside of Nike. So my art teacher from high school, I tried to get my mom a pair, but her feet are too small. I definitely made sure I had 3. The designer named E. Scott Morris, another designer named Ron Wright. There was just to throw in the rest of the numbers. There were a lot of people. And that was one way that I could say thank you. And then a really good friend of mine, her name is Lauren, her dad had a yellow motorcycle and really, really, really loved the shoe. And Lauren's one of my best friends. So I gave Lauren's dad one of my pairs because we were close to the same size. Those are the types of, those are the people, I guess, or a lot of those people. Stephen Green, mentioned them already. I had a couple really good bosses when I worked at Nike, Todd Carlson, and Jackie Anderson, a bunch of people that I worked with that were mad cool. You see how out of it I am right now? Imagine sitting at a desk with me or sitting in a meeting and people are talking about really high level stuff and yeah, this and that. And I'm like, yo, can we just address something real quick? The shoe is cool, but it's ugly. We're not making that. We can't sell that. And they're like, shut up, little kid, you don't know, you're new. But it's very important, right? Thank you. So that's the, there were people who listened to me say, you're ugly. That's ugly. It was you're wrong and that's ugly put together. Some people's attitudes are ugly though. Let's be real. But no, there were a lot of people who listened to me there. I had a teacher who I was talking with somebody earlier today about education, and it's a teacher who he and I never ever saw eye to eye. Middle school and high school, I went to a little private school out in Hillsborough, and up until like my junior year, something was going on in his family, and that was the first time I actually saw him like break a little bit, and he went to his office, closed the door, made a comment about something going on with his family, went in his office and closed the door. And there were a couple, everybody was like, what's wrong with him? Like, well, it's like he's tripping, like he's going crazy, you know? But it was something that was kind of similar that was going on in my family. So I went into his office and I was like, I know that we're not that cool and like we actually kind of probably hate each other, but I know what's going on. So if you need anything, you can talk to me about that at least. And from then, like he and I have been, I never really see him. Like I probably see him every 4 years, but when I see him, it's good, you know? So it's like, a lot of times it's stuff like that, like people who I don't know, like impact me until like late or whatever, you know? But one of my first resumes, I did like this folded brochure thing for the first job interview I had. And I actually put out on the back of it, ghosted, like it was white and then the text was gray. And it had my information in it, Ian Williams, my email, my phone number. But within all of that, and that was in blue, but all the words in gray were actually people's names. And it was like this big. And it was like all the people, a couple people in there who actually really got on my nerves. And I was like, you're also motivation. Let's not forget that. Let me put you in there. Thank you very much. But you know, I actually found it the other day. Like I was cleaning the basement and found it the other day. So if you ever want to see it, come by. I'll show it to you. But like that, I really can't like name all the people. Definitely my mom, my family, you know, my nephew who's been working with me doing stuff back when I was doing events. He was like 12. And I was like, yo, go with these adult dudes and make sure that they actually complete the task. And he was like, you got it. Now I can leave the shop in his hands for like a month, and he would be like, yo, are y'all doing what y'all need to do? You know Ian's not gonna like this. You know such and such is important. You know the people are coming in. You know, so like, I could name so many people, but it's extremely important that those people know, you know, that I really appreciate them. I mean, I already told you guys, like I respect you guys. Like these guys put together the platform for me to come up here and speak, but before I was able to come up here and speak, they had to decide to put together a platform for people to say some stuff. That's a lot of humility, you know, for them to do that. So there's a lot of people. There's a lot of people. I'm not really like, I like celebrities and stuff like that, but I'm kind of like, bro, what are you doing for me, man? You out there making these dollars. Like, I don't have anything to do with me, except for Iverson. But he's from where I'm from, so. And then he played in Philly. And now he's the coach of Big Three, that Three's company. Let's go. They're gonna be in Seattle in August. Bring a team back to Seattle, please, NBA. Yeah. Anybody else have any other questions? I know Jeff, you're like holding one. No? Oh, you're usually the I'm a hold the question guy. Oh, see, you suck. Do you guys have any questions or anything? No? I'm just making sure that I catch it now. What's up? And then
Are those shoes with the red swoosh that looked kind of burnt? Is that how the shoe came, or did you burn?
No, it's actually a custom. I have a friend in Seattle who did them as a custom, and he did them for an art show that they did at IDL at the street called Rips Giving during Thanksgiving, pretty much. And I thought that they looked really dope. And so I was like, yo, I need a pair of these sometime. Like, let me know what it's gonna cost. And then, I don't know, maybe January or February, they just showed up in the mail. And it was the pair that he made for the show, so it doesn't fit me. What's up, bro? Like, come on, I don't know which camera's live, but I need that pair in my size. Like, I'll pay for it. But yeah, it's a custom. And he does reconstructed custom. So he actually takes the shoe completely apart, and he has patterns made and builds them off from scratch. So it's like the burnt part is the Trailblazers So it's like burnt, has like red and black stripes across the toe. She was fire. Roses on the inside, 1977 on the heel, 19 on one, 77 on the other. It's dope. I got friends who do dope stuff, yo. Like it's really cool to have like a lot of friends who do like cool things and to be able to like do cool things with them and make like new friends. And those friends have friends and those people know other people, and it's like, let's like do stuff that's cool and not stuff that sucks. It's like that simple. What's up?
What do you think's happening in the coffee shop? I mean, on that.
I don't know. Another coffee shop. We open at 7:30. It's Chinatown. Nobody's down here that early, and if you are down here that early, you really don't want coffee. I'm for real. What's after the coffee shop? I don't know, man. I mean, I had an opportunity. I was recently in Atlanta with a group of social entrepreneurs, essentially, called Breakout. And one of the places that they went was the Ron Clark Academy. And I don't know if you guys know much about the Ron Clark Academy, but it's like a skinny, goofy white dude from the country. He has opened up this school in Atlanta, essentially in the hood, to try to get kids who live in the hood to be better and, teach them a way that they want to be taught. So they teaches them a lot through music and through dance and through like tactile things, right? Like through actually building. And, you have this math equation. How can you actually take this equation and apply it to something that you might use instead of sitting in the classroom being like, bro, when are we ever going to use this? And giving kids the freedom to decide how they want to be taught. That's partially why we're near Pencil. And I mean, I mentor at the school. I'm the bad guy, really. Like the designers go in and draw it, and it's really cool. And then like I go in and I'm like, yo, this is cool, but like you can't make it. Like it's never gonna work, But like that's a type of education. Like it's a 4-week intense program, exactly how it would be in the footwear world. You can't get that education anywhere else, and it's free. Like all you have to do is apply and get in, and Dwayne has figured out a way to make the brands pay for this. And I'm pretty sure he's helped about 200 people get jobs off of the 5 years that he's been doing the school. Like, so is there a way that I can like either help with Pencil or what? Like, I don't know. The coffee shops, yeah. Other stuff that I'm interested in, yeah. But that's more for me to be able to like pass stuff on to my family whenever I have kids, or my mom or nephew or whatever. But I gotta do some more stuff that I just really like makes me happy, Yeah. We do. Yeah. Come see me. Come get some of that baseline blend, a nice little medium roast from South America, or a Son of Vogue, a nice blend of Burundi, coffee from Burundi and Kona, which I actually went and found. I mean, it sounds like vacation, but your boy was out there and hot. It was hot. But developed a relationship with a farm out there in Kona. Portland hates Hawaiian coffees because it's really expensive and it kind of tastes like whatever. But I think it has like a creamy undernote that both tastes good as a drip, but it's really good as a cold brew.
Have you noticed there's a different personality in the Northwest for coffee? People like their stuff really over roasted. Super bitter.
They like it really like fruity, and they like it. I feel like a lot of times people are looking for like, where's something with like the citrus notes and this and that. I'm like, down the street. Like, I don't know. I can't help you. Like, I don't like it, so I'm not serving it. But I can tell you where to go get that. Yeah, the coffee culture here is real jerkish. Yeah, no.
It's like shoe collecting.
Hey, we not jerks. We're jerks. Sometimes. But yeah, particular is a nice way to put it. But like, go to some coffee shops and like, it's real fast. You'll feel like you're not supposed to be there, and that's what I don't like. Like on the sign it says like snob free coffee, like for a reason. Like, come and ask a question. I don't mind answering it. Mainly because a couple years ago I didn't know what I was talking about either. So Don't act like you know when you actually really don't know. I had one person tell me one time they ordered a drink, and I was like, "What are you asking for?" And they were like, "I don't know. That's just what I feel like I'm supposed to order." You know, I'm like, "No, you get what you want. Don't be crazy." What's up? What up, Amir? That's Amir. Yeah.
How do you plan on, sustainability in your shop? How do you sustain the ecology? Like you went to go pick your coffee. Do you see? I want to know if you have some idea of sustainability in your shop. Like, I haven't been to your shop, so I wouldn't be able to say, oh, I saw this, or, you know.
Yeah. Sustainability. Like you talking about like.
The sustainability on many levels.
Yeah.
For your workers, for the product that you went to go pick and now you're selling.
Mhm.
Sustainability for the product that you're, displaying in your gallery. Just sustainability on different levels. If you think about it, if you have, it might be not a hard question, but something that.
It's a complex question, I think.
It's always on my mind. Like,
Yeah.
I bring my own napkin.
Yeah. Hey, I respect that. Yeah.
Should I be like, no napkins for me at your shop? And I'm
Yeah,
sure
girl, you
I'm
come in
not
and
like-
bring your own napkin if you want. I'm not gonna trip on you. I've actually noticed it's kind of like when you get like hot dogs, like you get a pack of hot dogs, you get like 8 hot dogs, you get 10 buns, and there's always like a what, I've noticed that, we order this many cups and this many this many lids, and there's always there's a lot of people who don't get the lid for that, that piece of sustainability is not on me, it's on the customer. So if you bring your own napkin, your own reusable mug, your own, something like that, perfectly fine. You actually get a discount. There's a little right next to where you get like the coffee sleeve. It says for baby hands, because cups are hot, And a lot of people are like, "Are you heat shaming me? Like, are you trying to make me feel bad for taking one of these?" But actually, it's there because I had this customer who used to get a sleeve no matter what he got, whether the drink was hot or cold. And I said, "Bro, you got baby hands." So it was a joke on him, but it also is like funny to like a broader, like people really laugh at it when they see it. And there's been some people who have been like, "Nah, that's not me," and so. Yes, it's saving the earth. Yes, it's saving me dollars. So let's go like both ways with that. But also, it's just kind of funny. But sustainability and in terms of for the employees, not paying billions of dollars, for this. But for me, what else can I offer them? Can I help you find a job? Can I help you make some connections so that you can do whatever it is that makes you happy? My nephew wants to be a lawyer. He's wanted to be a lawyer since he was 11. Somehow, in the times that he's been in the shop, probably had 5 or 6 different people who are either lawyers or who teach at the law school at one of these colleges be like, "Whatever you need, let me know." This happened last week. Somebody came in and was like, "I just graduated last year, so I know really what it takes because I just did it. Let me know." So that DJ has had an opportunity to meet some people. He really wants to work corporate at Nike sometime. Now I've been able to connect him with my old bosses and stuff like that. So those are the things in terms of sustainability that's really what I hope is keeping people there. But at the same time, if I do my job correctly, I won't have employees for very long. And that's kind of the way that I planned it.
What about sustainability for yourself, for you as an individual?
Oh, if people are as a business, yeah, we got to make money. But if people are successful, then that is why I'm gonna take it there. That's why I'm alive. I'm here for people and experiences and stuff like that. But yeah, I mean that's really to me that meat and potatoes, as people say. Sorry, my apologies to vegetarians and vegans. the hearty things. You know, like that's really what is what like pulls it all together for me, and that's what makes the business overall sustainable. People coming in, getting a good product, people going out the door with great experiences, people getting some work, doing whatever it is, or getting inspired to do whatever it is that they want to go do or whatever. And then on the product side, like I buy from I do as much local purchasing as I can. People talk about fair trade coffee, buying direct from the farm. If I'm buying like one bag of coffee every little bit, I cannot buy direct from the farm. Excuse me. But what I can do is buy from Mr. Green Bean, which is off of Mississippi, and they're a small business. It's just a couple dudes who are bringing in. Oh, really? Yeah. Trevin? Hey, shout out to Trevin. Okay, my man. I can go buy from them and help them stay up, right?
Do you let people know that you are doing that? You know, like you go to the restaurant, they're like, we got this from this farm and that farm and this chicken.
If you ask me.
If you ask.
Yeah.
But you know, like you don't put it on Instagram or
A little bit.
Okay.
Yeah, it's important, but it's also like not important. I don't want to be like, I don't want people to think that like I'm trying to like punch news down their throat. Like it's not. If you want to know something, then I can have a high level coffee conversation that I've never been able to have before, like, you know, a couple of years ago. But if you don't ask me, like if you just see me like sitting at the Max stop, like you have no idea I know anything about any of that kind of stuff, you know, or about shoes probably. And I kind of like it that way, I guess. I don't know. I kind of like that we're like a little bit unassuming, and then you come in and you're like, oh, that's I feel it. It's good, you know. But and I'm not trying to even be a jerk about that. I'm just kind of like, if it's important, then I'll let you know. If I feel like it's important, like the honey that we use, I get it from the night market from the same lady from, what is it, Philomath? That's the only time I buy honey is from her. And we have like a little card that says where the honey comes from, and and about her and her husband. He's the beekeeper and she's the processor and the business side. But like, to me, I just want really good honey. And I don't get me wrong, but like there's a lot of the bigger names out here in Portland, the Be Local and Jacobson Sea Salt and stuff like that. Like they get plenty of play. And then I'm not saying that they make a bad product. I'm just saying that there's other people who are making good stuff too. So let us together do some stuff, you know.
I don't mean to put you on the spot on this.
Nah, you're good.
But, you know, I wear clothing and my clothing, you know, I go to the store. Some of the clothing is hurting people. You know, the factories. Some of the factories are offshore, and, you know, the practices.
Most of them are offshore.
How does that, do you ever address that internally? Did you ever address it as a shoemaker while you were in Nike? As a person, you know, as your business model in your shop,
Yeah.
you know, your community is this, but it's obviously not in the offshore.
Yeah.
So,
It's still an extended community though.
yeah, so how do you address that, you know? What are your thoughts on that, or what are some thoughts you have regarding that?
I don't know how many years ago, but Nike was kind of dinged for having like greenhouse gas in the airbags. A company that big doing something that is bad, and you think about like an airbag is like this big, and you know it's just like a little thing, and you have two per pair of shoes, and it seems like it's like not that big of a deal until you multiply that by 100, like literally 100 million pair of shoes. Then it becomes a really big problem, and also there are people who are processing this and all those things, right? So before they actually got hit for it, they changed it. They changed the gas. There is a really big thing about, you know, labor and the way that people are treated, and manufacturing, no matter where you are, like it's like it's a big deal, right? If you're a company that size, Nike, Adidas, I don't know, I can only speak for those two, I don't know that much about, but generally, if you're a company that size, you can't really get away with doing jacked up stuff, or treating people really bad, on that side of things. I never got an opportunity to go to factories, but I can tell you that the factories over there, from pictures and from experiences and from people that I work with, Amir can tell you firsthand, those factories are beautiful. If there are people who, like, essentially what happens is they build a factory in a place that maybe was like a rice paddy, right? They just grew rice. They take the rice paddy out and they put a factory there in the middle of nowhere. You now have all these people who are without a job. And then, so now you say, well, here's your job back. But now you're making shoes. And they don't know anything about making shoes, right? But if you teach them how to make shoes very well, and if you treat them right, they're gonna stick with you. And they're gonna continue to make really good product. That's what they do. I can only speak for Nike and A-level factories, like top tier factories like that. Same thing with apparel and stuff like that. I mean, these factories have like living quarters, like where people, they feed them. Like people get all these breaks. The prices keep going up for what it costs to make some shoes. Like, so really, you know, these things are, and they give the workers the opportunity to tell you like what is and isn't working, and how things can be improved and stuff like that. But we're talking about retail $100, $150, $200, dollars, right? Or $60 and they're making a ton of it, so the order is high, whatever, blah, blah, blah. But if you go to some places that sell some like not even discount footwear, but footwear that is retail about $30, $40, that's where you get into some of those things possibly. I don't know that much, but I'm willing to believe it's not a pretty sight a lot of times. So those are questions that come up all the time. A lot of people were like, what are you guys doing, blah, 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 F this place, or F this industry or whatever. And that's actually like it's a legit like worry. People should be treated right. And so the things that I'm purchasing, there is like a flip side of it. I do actually worry. Because now I know what that looks like on the other side. As a sneaker kid buying shoes at the store, I didn't know. And nor did I care, really, because I was like 16, 17, 18. But after I sat behind that desk and realized that somebody on the other side of that email had a death in the family, and they haven't answered my emails in 3 days because that has happened, those are people now. So I want to make sure that those people take care of the other people that work with them, and hopefully they do the same for us. So consciously for me, I gotta pay attention to it. On the flip side, like, we vote with our dollars, right? Stephen Green, I can't say it. I coined that. Like Stephen said that. But it's true. Like, you vote with your dollars, right? So whoever you're giving your money to, you're actually supporting whatever it is that they're doing. Talk to Uber. I hung out with some people from Lyft not too long ago. It's interesting, actually. We'll talk about it. What's up?
You touched on this a couple times, but I wonder if there's just anything more you can say about places you've gone to that feel unwelcoming. Like when you're doing your market research, or just like whatever today.
Do I have to say like names?
Like,
I might.
Is it design, product, people? Like what is it that makes it unwelcoming? I just be very interested in honestly about it.
There's like a part of unwelcoming that's kind of welcoming to me. I grew up I really like shoes. I go to shoe stores. A lot of the sneaker stores are pretty male dominant. Like, really heavy. Like, I got a lot of dude shoes, a lot of dude clothes, a lot of dudes working in there. The shops are kind of dark. It's very dudey. And then, so like I'm just used to going into these stores and kind of being like people just kind of look at you like, what do you want? And that's kind of like, I've grown to like love it. So now when I go to stores that have been purchased by bigger companies, and they at one point were grimy and weird and like hated that I was there. Now they're like, hey, how's it going, man? Good to see ya. And they're like working off a commission. It's like gross to me now. So like I like the kind of grimy side. I just wish that it was more appealing for like everybody. But a lot of shoe stores kind of suck. They really have the same stuff. A lot of coffee shops suck. They have the same stuff. You might serve the same beans or the same. It's a burnt seed, because coffee is a cherry. That's like the seeds inside, and then you burn them. You cook them. And then you put some heat and some water and some pressure maybe, and then some milk that you make hot or cold. You put it in a cup, and you give it to somebody. And then they say, yeah, this is amazing. Or they say, this really sucks. I'm not coming back here anymore. Coffee is like really, really, really basic, but it's also really cool. And sneakers are really basic. Like you just buy some stuff that has to get you from to and from to make sure your feet don't get dirty or jacked up. But they're also really cool. So a lot of times these coffee shops are just like interior design competitions. Like who can make the space look cooler? Also, what's cool? Who decided what cool is? Does it? There's some places that I can say they're gonna be around very long. Their service sucks and their coffee sucks to me. That Instagram well. People are gonna go and take that photo, take that selfie, and it's gonna last. And that really sucks because somebody doing something better, I think, could be in that spot possibly. Big box retail is really boring. Really, really, really boring. I don't know, man. I don't really want to say anything specific, but I think it's really just like the people in that atmosphere just change it. And I was talking to some people, latte art competition a couple weeks ago, and have you guys ever seen this thing called the Mod Bar? Portland Roasting had it, or maybe still has it. It's essentially like these. So coffee has like these things. That's what the handles are called, groups, groups, portafilter, whatever. The groups come out of the counter. So there's no box machine in front of you or whatever. But it was just that, and then you had to install the rest of it. There's a new company called Mavam that's from Seattle. They're maybe like 2 years old, and they just designed this thing that's all one piece. It's all one unit, but everything is below. So pitcher, rinser, steam wand, everything, groups are all right there. Even timers for like what's going on. Like it's all right there in one unit. It's essentially an espresso machine just under the counter. Really cool. And it's a coffee shop out off Belmont called Foxy Coffee. They kind of have like a little mobile setup, but it's inside like a house. It's pretty dope. Mavam is letting them borrow it for a little bit. And we went to a latte art competition there. Super cool. You know, it's the same people all the time. I'm not saying that's bad, but you know, same people all the time. And somebody made a comment. We were just kind of talking about like, it was me, a guy who does a coffee blog, so he actually doesn't do coffee. So he just goes to these things just because he likes the people and the fun, you know. And like another couple of people who work in coffee. And I was like, yo, this machine is dope, blah, blah, blah. And we're all kind of talking. And somebody was like, yeah, man, it's really changing the game because now the baristas can talk to their customers. You couldn't talk to your customers before that? Is it because this box is in front of you? You guys ever watch like Home Improvement and like Wilson like is looking over? He's still talking to the people, to the family on the other side and dropping knowledge on these dudes, right? You can't do that? So that comment to me was like, what? Your job is to help people, baristas, bartenders, and barbers. Like we get all the stuff. We get all the words. I know some stuff I hope I never hear again, like about some people. I know some people who told me some stuff about like, man, this dude really gets on my nerves, blah, blah, blah. I think I'm gonna fire him. And this person coming in like, man, I really hope I don't lose my job. I'm like, yo, just keep working hard, bro. Just keep this. Hey, you ever thought about leaving the city? Like, exploring some other stuff, you know? So, I don't know if it's, I don't know if it's necessarily like Those are the things that I look for. So like those spaces, like the designs and things like that are cool, and they're like inspirational and whatnot. But like, what are you actually doing? You know, what are you actually providing? What are you? If it's like if it's product that you're really providing, and you have like some really dope stuff. I just went to Proud Mary, a new shop that just opened up off Alberta. Get the hash, it's fire. They have essentially 7 groups all spread out across this bar counter, and they worked with this company called Connoisseurs, super dope. They flew out here, installed all this stuff so that they have this like really dope bar. So really what happens is you go up to the bar, you sit down, and they wait on you right there, and while they're making your drink, they're actually talking to you, and like, you know, the interface is way different. It's like a completely different customer experience. Our espresso machine is turned sideways, so you actually see what we're doing, and also it's not in the way so that we actually talk to you. Also, it's a space thing. We save way more space doing it this way. But like, just that kind of stuff. I get more inspired. Amir and I actually, we share an office just down the street. We do a lot of just random like walks. We'll just go walk, and then like the AC hotel just opened up downtown, and we went into the hotel just to see what it looked like. And like, we don't really want anything. We just wonder what you're doing. You know, I get a lot of inspiration from stuff that's like outside of coffee or sneakers. 2 Chainz is one of my favorite rappers. He's a garbage rapper. His music doesn't really, there's no content. He's talking about, his name is 2 Chainz. It's because he has 2 necklaces. Like, but he's an extremely smart guy. Full ride academic scholarship, 4.0 student all through college, and played 4 years of basketball. Really, really smart dude. I just think it's kind of funny that he does this like rap thing. Also, he's like 45 and like really starting to like blow up. Like that's funny, you know? So those are the kind of things that like, I draw inspiration from that kind of stuff. But yeah, did that answer your question? I don't know, man. I feel like I hit the tangents. I just start going. Some places are cool, some places suck. Actually, I came in here for the sketch jam that's over there on the wall, and that's actually what a lot of those things are. That was during design week. It was the first time I had actually been in here. I remember hand-eye from when it was over down the street near where the shop is now, and then here, super dope spaces. But I came in here, and they had the desks set up in like these like circles. They kind of look like infinity, and the cameras, and like people were like hat backwards, down, drawing. There was bleachers, and like, that's dope. It was like Fight Club, but for like design. Like that's cool. And they got like some wood, and like a garage door, and like some neon, and some people. Like that. From that, I was like, ooh, I want to get my hands on some of that. Like, what can I do? How can I help? And that's actually, you guys may not know this, but that's actually kind of why I was excited to do this. I just really like this space. I really like you guys. I thought what you're doing is dope. And I was like, if you guys can do that with this space, let's go. Tell me how I can get up in that. So, thank you. Like, I felt good when I walked in here. I was like, yo, these people are working. So, yeah. Yup. I don't know, I feel like I'm using up all the time. Like, it's probably people watching it on the live stream like, yo, who is this guy? He's making all this noise. Anybody else? Anything else? I guess I could just go ahead and wrap it up. What's up?
Where do you find some Converse style shoes?
Converse.
Don't suck like Converse.
Oh, bro, check it out. Chuck 2. Do you know about the Chuck 2?
Huh.
Okay, so you know Converse is owned by Nike.
I did not know.
Okay, now you know. They've been owned by Nike for like 10 years or so. And the same way that like Cole Haan and a couple other Hurley, they've taken some of those like technologies and put it into the shoes, right? Early on, there were like some Air Force Ones that they started to put like this lunar foam, like this like, what? Nah. So the lunar foam, so there's like Boost and then there's Lunar, right? Nike's got Lunar, they got Boost. As they did these Air Force Ones, which is like an old basketball shoe from like '82, tried to make it better, put this lunar foam in it, but they changed the sidewall. They changed the side of the shoe. It looked kind of funny, and people were like, bro, why you mess with my Air Force One? Then they did it again, changed the sidewall again, made it look a little bit better, but people were like, this is still not And people like the look of the Air Force One, and they'll deal with the weight of it and how uncomfortable it is. Then, out of nowhere, somehow somebody said, leave it how it is, make it lighter, and put this foam, just put a drop in of some foam in there, and it got way better. The Chuck 2 is that. It is the Chuck, but comfortable. Yeah, treat yourself, man. Somebody got a discount for you somewhere, too, man. You in Portland, you should be paying like $33. What's up?
Not to draw it out, but like.
That
so
Chucks are real.
How do you compare? So I remember when they switched the factories over from being made in the U.S. and you started getting the ones that were made overseas,
Mhm.
and they use different glues, they use different like rubber compounds or something. Like you
Possibly.
burn 5 times in and like do a crack right there. Like I own like 20 pairs of Chucks. Like
I can tell.
how I'm sure repair.
Oh, okay.
So, so like how do they compare to like the U.S. made ones like from back in the day?
That I do not know. I'm not a Chucks guy. I like the classic look of them, but for the fact that they were really uncomfortable, I was like, okay, I can do uncomfortable in something that I like way more, and go like over here. But that I'm not too sure about. That could have been a time thing too. Maybe around the time that you were purchasing them, maybe they were made a little bit different. I'm not too sure. The way that they're made though is a little bit. They're actually like melted to the upper, and that's why Chucks are usually canvas. Because if you did anything like a nylon or something like that, you would melt it. So there's like there's maybe something around that process or whatever. Stop worrying about what the old Chucks look. Get you some Chuck 2s also. They make them in the OG colors and stuff like that. They still look legit. They still got the logos on the medial sides, like the inside. Like, let's go get you some Chuck 2s and you're going to be like, what?
What do you think about the shoes that are the new sneaker wool shoes that are made like they're very Instagram worthy, but
You talking about brands or?
just the shoes that are coming up that everyone's kind of raging about.
Oh.
They don't have any like logos on them. They're very plain.
Oh yeah, I think that's a fashiony, inspiration-y kind of like people are like really big into no logos. Have been for like a while. Like I don't know. It's kind of weird. This is actually like weird. I rarely will do anything where I'm talking or like interviewing or doing like a newspaper thing or whatever where I'm wearing a big brand. And it's mainly for the same reason about the honey and stuff like that. Those guys don't need me to wear these clothes, but my friends can benefit from it. They don't need me to wear it, but my friends can benefit from it. So usually, like if you come in the shop and you see like we have a lot of newspaper articles and stuff up, because we've been fortunate that people were paying attention to what we're doing. I'm wearing somebody else's stuff, like some friend or somebody somebody sent me a T-shirt in the mail or whatever. Like I'm saying thank you that way. So that is like actually I got on a Town Square shirt underneath here. Shout out to Town Square. Little company out of the Bay. Stephen Green works for them. They do a lot of stuff for the community and small businesses. Yeah, I don't know. I think it's just kind of like a fad. Pretty soon it'll go right back to some stripes or some check marks or some vectors, and I just think it's like a moment or like a blip, and there will be people who will stick with it. In a way, Chucks are kind of like that. They're kind of unbranded, right? Like this. So I think that's like the anti-sneaker, but yeah. There's a couple companies that are doing some. I think Greats has a couple pair that are unbranded. A company called Greats. Jordan brand recently just took the swoosh off of the Jordan 1 low. Because I know the iconic lines, I know it's a Jordan 1, and most people who are into that know. But also, it looks kind of funny because like over the years, this shoe's been around since like '84. And like a year ago, they took the logo off of the side of something that I've been seeing since before I was born. Like, it's kind of crazy, you know? And why is that okay? Why are people still waiting in line for them? Why are people still wearing them? So I think it's like a time thing. It'll go back. I've been around long enough. It'll go back. Big fast swooshes will come back. And, you know, medial stripes on the side or lateral stripes on the side or whatever, and the shoe black and the stripes are white. Like it'll all come back. Because at the end of the day, sneakers are kind of a status thing. If you got cool shoes, you're doing something right. Or you know something. I'm going to talk to you. So that's just like how we identify as weird sneaker people. It's like, oh, hey, what's up? All right, okay, you listen to 2 Chainz, you know, so yeah.
What do you want more of? Just you.
Donuts.
Donuts?
Yeah, I love donuts. Clearly, I showed y'all Skinny Ian. He was skinny once. I think I just like we've been like fortunately now we're at a place where I can actually do kind of like people are coming to me now. Before it was like, hey, can I work with you on something? Or, you know, what are you doing? Can I be there? Like, can I serve coffee at it or whatever? And I still have to do that. But now like I'm getting a lot of phone calls and a lot of emails and a lot of drop-bys. You know, people saying like, hey, we're doing such and such. We would love to have you here. Hey, there's this space that opened up on such and such block and we need a coffee shop and we think that what you're doing is really big. Actually, there was somebody who said there's no space. There's pretty much no space in our neighborhood, but as soon as one pops up, I'm calling you. That's kind of like I need more. I need like more. I just like it when people recognize what's going on and like want to support that. Yes, it's actually business. It's money. And I have to make a business decision on the flip side. Like I could open up another store. I think we would be successful if we opened up next to like a Stumptown. We're just so different. I could do that. Is it a smart idea to do that? Probably not. I don't got bucks just flying out the door. As a matter of fact, any bucks flying, I'm trying to grab them back, throw them in the pocket. Yeah, don't throw $1 near me. That's over. But that's really what I just need, like that. Just more. I can never have too much community, too much. I can have too much people, or too much person, but I can never. Like if the community's kind of like orchestrating and like working in the background, and I can like double dutch and hop in and out when I feel like it, that's cool. I would like really like that, and I want other people to take that and go and feel like it's necessary or like they have a place where they can actually go and do that. But yeah. Also, if y'all just happen to come across some size 12 or 13s and y'all just trying to unload them and you just want to give them to a real cool guy and his homies, I need more of those too. Actually, on my business card and in my email, I have like Ian Williams, blah, 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 and then my size. My sizes. You never know. You never know. Somebody might see something. All right. We good? All right.
Awesome.
Thank you guys very much. I really appreciate it. Yeah, man. Look at all those words.
Yeah.
Oh, hey.
All right. Thanks everybody for coming. We return on August 1st with Jenny Logan, the president of X-Ray FM, with her talk X-Ray FM and the future of independent media. For more information, check out our website, curiosityclub.com, and follow our social media pages. Let's have another round of applause for you.
Okay.